Welcome back to the show. You are watching Man Talk here on KTN Home, and I am your host, Susan Jaroge, aka Sir Common. And I'm seated here today with Reinhard, Alan, and Ian, and we are discussing competition and how competition between the genders might be a good thing or a bad thing, depending on the different aspects. Now, we had started touching on relationships. Reinhard dropped the bomb, okay, of the episode is, as a man, you don't need to try and prove yourself in your own house, okay? So in your house, if there is a floor that needs to be cleaned, clean it. If you are the leader of the home, if there's dishes to be washed or laundry to be done, as any other role, a bulb to be changed, a pipe to be fixed, all of that is what we're talking about, not just specifically the softer tasks that are seen for women. Now, Ian, I wanted to come back with you from the break, and we had touched on sports and politics and all of that competition, but now we're talking about competition in relationships and what happens when a man and a woman are at home together. Now, there's the woman, we were talking about this over the break, shout out to my producer, Purity. There's the woman that does too much in society. She's seen as she's doing too much, which is she's trying to be a woman and a man, everything, whether it's with her child, in her career, in her finances, everything. And when I say trying to be a man, probably in the aspects of even getting rid of her femininity, getting rid of men in her life who maybe would help her raise her child, even if she's a single mom. Even negative communication. I mean, competition. You had mentioned that sometimes competition can be really negative in the sense that you do something unethical. So a woman she would rather do something unethical just to be in a place where she believes a man should be, or the man she would want to marry would be. Do you see like there's more of those women in Kenya, or do you think it's fair game? They're just trying to compete and make it fair between them and the other men in the competition?
In my honest opinion, I don't really believe that. They have to do whatever has to be done for them to, be able to fend for their families if, the fathers are not there.
True.
But it doesn't have to be necessarily, doing or engaging in unethical behaviors or things.
Yeah.
You as a mother, you have the best interests of your kids at heart. I'll give a very, very good example of, women or mothers who single-handedly raise their kids under very difficult circumstances.
Yes.
Being a sports analyst, there are certain, sportsmen. And a very good example is, probably Kevin Durant or LeBron James.
Oh, yes, raised by single moms.
Single mothers. And they, according to what, LeBron James and KD do say, their mothers did whatever had to be done for them to prosper, for them to see that their kids have, prospered.
Yeah.
And every single day, you will see them giving a shout out to their mothers. The mothers are always there. Even they were there then.
Yep.
Even though when their kids are successful, they are still there. You will see them on the courts. They have to do whatever is there to be done. And as a mother, it is a motherly instinct. You have to do whatever it takes.
Yeah, to take care of your kids and raise them.
No matter the circumstances.
Now,
so it is not something that should be said. They've probably gone overboard. You just have to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I like that. I mean, because this world is tough. I mean, there's a pandemic right now. Everybody is in a completely different financial position to where they used to be. And that goes for everybody. So even for people that were really, really low income or dysfunctional, or you're working in a really difficult squalor, it's only just gotten worse because of the situation that the world is currently in. Now, I want to use two examples. So like there is the young girl today that is having a sponsor to be able to take care of all her living costs and all of that. And then she has a boyfriend. And sometimes she even uses some of the money from the sponsor to help with her boyfriend's business, to help her boyfriend cover his rent and all of that. Now, in this situation, does it seem like it's a woman taking on a role to take care of her man, to take care of everything, or is this separate from gender altogether when you guys look at such situations? Because some people would label that as unethical behavior.
To me, sometimes it's very difficult to judge a person not knowing the choices they had to choose from.
Right.
And you might realize that sometimes being strong is the last option that you have. And in our society, societal pressure is exerted so much on a girl child in such a way that the boys of her age would be well in offices and everywhere, but then for her, she's supposed to remain somewhere behind and struggle for life. Now, this person has a right of falling in love. You understand? At the same time, they have rights of being provided for. You understand? Now, this person wants provision, but the person she has cannot provide.
Right.
Then she realizes that, uh-oh, there is an open window somewhere.
For me
yeah,
to
some money
explore.
is just hanging somewhere. I mean, we can squander this.
It's a low-hanging fruit.
I mean, go for it. Yeah, why not? But again, it's not good because it makes these young girls begin catwalking everywhere in town. You know, they feel like they own the world.
Right.
Oh my God, they don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, in the first place, this is somebody's father you are doing this to, right? Remember, you will also one day have kids, and you don't want your kids to do that. Yeah, so
That's usually the catch-22 for a lot.
You
Because even for
understand?
the sponsors, I'm always just like, but if you have a daughter, would you want your daughter to do what
do
your
the same
girlfriend
thing
is
you're
doing?
doing?
Yeah.
yeah, and even if these girls are doing these things, it's wrong. But it's because they are trying to rebuild their confidence in the society. You understand? Competition is there. It kicks down their confidence. So they have to raise their social amenities at least to match the standards of the world. That is why they do these things. But they should not. I mean, it's not a guarantee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's true. I mean, a lot of girls and women that are in that situation, they are coming from a really, really difficult place. There are those who choose the sponsor lifestyle who don't even need it. They're just like, I want the extra money, so
Yeah,
that's
and so-
different.
and
But there's
sometimes,
those
Susie,
who are in really difficult situations.
I'm so sorry, but sometimes it's not even about the extra money.
Yeah.
Sometimes people take it as a job. I mean, they don't want to go to work. They just want to lazy around. I mean, somebody has money, right? Yeah, this person is for example, a chief in commander or something.
Yes.
And they have money. And then you realize that, uh-oh, I can tap this. They sit in strategic positions. You can get them in clubs. You can get them anywhere else. Seated, targeting you. Trust me, when you fall into their trap,
Yeah.
you will never get out of that place.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not good. I mean, you look at someone, you make yourself a predator and make them some prey.
Yeah.
So
that's
they
actually
target
what
these
it is.
men for their pockets. You understand?
Yeah.
The same person, you will never be satisfied with one sponsor if you begin that. Because money is never enough.
That's
as long as
true.
it doesn't have your picture.
It's still. I like that.
Yeah.
Now, there's a very famous quote from the musician singer Cher. She told a story, and it's a quote that women use all over. Her mom sat her down, was talking to her, and her mom told her, "You need to settle down and marry a really rich man." And she's like, "Well, Mom, I am a rich man, or I'm trying to be a rich man." Now, there is that conversation, and it's happening a lot in Nairobi, even on social media right now, of women who are becoming the men they want to date and how that is stopping them. Okay, so the woman who's becoming the men that they want to date will then complain that there's no one to date, or it's hard to find somebody. Maybe they don't even make time to date, maybe because they're working so hard all the time. First of all, for you guys, does this woman exist in your own personal experience? A woman who's tried to be the man she wants to date. So I'd be like, okay, I want a successful man, maybe even working in this industry. I want a man who can take care of this and this and this. I want a man who wants these kinds of goals. Then I just start doing them. So this man doesn't exist.
Yeah, these women exist.
Yeah.
And honestly, if now somebody comes into your life and they're doing everything, you feel diminished. As a man, I mean, you don't feel anything. You are here, you cannot do anything, everything is done. You want to fuel the car, the tank is full. You want to pay school fees, done. You want to travel outside the country, done.
Yeah, and there's so many women like that now.
Yeah, you want to go for a vacation, done. So you know you're there, you feel like some kind of a zombie. You're just there, you know, the puppet, just the figure you. And that's where problems arise. Because now these people in their house, especially when they go back home, they begin competing. Now the competition becomes very real.
Right.
And the relationship gets to be very toxic. You understand? Because you will not ask me to bring you a glass of water and we earn the same, or I earn higher than you and I'm a woman, and you want to tell me, excuse me, ma'am, can I have a glass of water? I'm like, what? I mean, you know where the fridge is, right?
Yeah.
You just suit yourself.
Right.
You understand? Yeah, so these women exist. And it's good, it's bad.
Both parts.
Both
Alan?
parts.
These women exist, and I think they're the best. Why? Because if you want a man who drives, most definitely you'll find them where you've parked your car. So the thing is,
Nice one.
the thing is, you know, as a woman, be that kind of a person, reflect that kind of a person you want. You can be having the standard set so high, but like verbally, but are you really putting in the work? That is why I've always said, do not treat a relationship as a financial breakthrough you've been trusting God for. The thing is, come into a relationship.
Hold on, just say that again.
Do not treat a relationship as a financial breakthrough you've been trusting God for.
So when people are praying for finances and they're praying for husband, different sentences, different lines.
Yeah.
Don't put them in the same.
Yeah. So come into a relationship when you are whole, when you are fully yourself. And you know, when you come into a relationship with this man as a woman, when you are fully packaged, also a man needs to be secure enough to handle this empowered woman. That is when, if a man is not secure enough, he will feel that this woman is taking up his role. So it means that you as a man, however much she earns, step up. Take that point whereby as a man, stand the ground and know there are some things, as much as this woman earns, how much. That's why I began by saying that in every woman there is a girl. So ensure that this girl manifests. However, she gets 10 million per month.
Yeah.
There is a role you just have to step up and do it, even if what. So do not be her fan, but be her friend.
Yeah.
So it means that inculcate the virtue of friendship in the very onset. The moment you get into this relationship, you know, the problem is most of the people begin dating and start, like now, after dating, that's when they cultivate friendship. They get to know each other. It needs to begin at a point where you know this person. You are secure enough to understand the dynamics of this person. So the moment you've cultivated friendship, you'll be able to challenge each other in a good way. And the problem here comes whereby, for us men, we don't feel like to be corrected instantly. We want someone to connect with us, then correct us.
So like when you correct instantly, it's taken.
Yeah, he will withdraw. Like you correct him the way you were citing this example, whereby this man is not earning enough. This lady is earning enough. She's
taking care of everything.
Yeah, so they need to have a candid discussion and like, as a lady, appreciate this man first of all. I really appreciate what you are doing to fend the family and what have you. So here you have to appreciate his vision, appreciate what he does as a woman. You understand?
Yeah.
So after that, then give him a chance to be a man, regardless of your...
Yeah. You've touched on quite a number of things. For starters, I like what you said of you have to be whole when you're going into a relationship, and that goes for both men and women.
Yeah.
Because like you said, insecurities, that's the problem.
Yeah.
If I'm insecure and things change in relationships, we've seen even the tide of this pandemic. If maybe you had a wife who was maybe in the medical field and then maybe you were in the hospitality industry, I'm so sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I usually have the lapel mic. Now I'm struggling with this one because I talk with my hands. But we're going to figure this out. If like, let's say the man was in the hospitality industry, even though he was earning more and the woman was in the medical field, with what we've seen with the pandemic, a lot of those households have switched. Because hospitality, everything was switched off. A lot of that is switched off when we have a lockdown. So in that sense, if a man wasn't secure in himself in that relationship, they're going to have problems.
Yeah, sure.
If a woman also herself is not secure in that relationship, you're going to have issues because she'll nag you till the world ends. But you also said, which I really liked right at the beginning, if you want that successful man, or you want that man with ambition, or you want that man with a car, you need to be in those spaces to meet those men.
Yeah,
you're not going to meet them sitting in your house praying about it, and you're not in those spaces. So it's not a bad thing for a woman to be outgoing and everything. But you said, lazima ujijue, essentially, when you're going into this relationship. And then appreciation of the man as a woman. Even though you're earning more or whatever the situation is, competition-wise in the household, appreciate your man for the man that he is. In however way you'll do it, you should know your man, so you should know how to appreciate him. Okay. Ian, you wanted to add on to that?
Probably to add on, what they've touched on, the issue of probably the woman is earning more, and what he said, that you can't, probably tell him to fetch a glass of water. She can tell you rather, where the fridge is.
Yeah.
I mean, when you come into the house, I believe you are both equal partners. Like you said, you appreciate your man, you understand? It doesn't have to be, okay, to me, if that is the situation, that is the scenario where I'm in need of a glass of water and you tell me you can fetch it for yourself because you know where it is, because you earn more or something, to me, it is some sort of an intimidation or something.
Yeah.
You can't really, do that just because you earn more. It is, you're equal partners, you're there, like you said, to help each other.
Yes.
Yeah, and even on the case of doing the manual work, the laundry, you know, washing the dishes. It is something that I can wash the dishes, she can do the laundry. It is helping each other, you understand?
Yeah.
So it doesn't have to be that because you're earning more now you have more, should I say rights, or you have more power or something? No,
Yes.
you leave your tags. The moment you get into the house,
Yeah.
you're the CEO, you leave it there.
Yes.
You'll pick it in the morning when you go to the office.
Exactly.
Or in the house, we're equal partners.
I like that. I want us, Reinhard, you can take it away, but I want us to get personal now. Obviously, you have 3 children, and you're married, I'm assuming. You're not married. That's
I'm
good.
Engaged.
You're engaged to be married. Congratulations. That's amazing. Don't let us laugh at you. None of us is engaged unless anyone else is engaged to
Yeah,
us.
I mean, this is my work.
Yeah. Now, there is a very interesting type of competition that we haven't talked about, but it does happen between men and women. Competition in parenting with kids, which is very interesting.
Yeah.
You know, one parent doesn't want to be the disciplinarian because they're the ones who will be, you know, not liked by the kids or whatever. They can also be the roles of parenting. So who is the one who is able to take the kids to school? Who is the one who is able to do the homework, depending on your job? Who is the... and parents' competition, there's also that one of like when parents accomplish something with their child. So maybe you have a kid who atakatanga kuoga at 5 and you know all this stuff, and then a parent realizes like a trick, and now the kid is aligning, and the parent feels, you know, I have a one up on the other parent. What is your experience with the mother of your children? Is it that difficult? And what have you learned about yourself as a dad? Because obviously you start realizing, hey, yeah, I have these hang-ups.
Yeah.
You didn't know them till you got kids.
Now, okay, before I say that, women tend to mature so quick in
Yeah,
marriage,
that's true.
more than men.
We mature quickly early, even kindergarten, primary, but yes, marriage is one of them.
Yeah, so these competitions in the house, for you to really win the hearts of your kids, you have to forget about being a daddy or a father. You have to lower yourself to their level. You have to be them. If your firstborn is 10, you have to be the firstborn who is 11. You understand? For you to
Right.
capture their brains. And then the problem comes in when we give some roles. We say, like, for example, taking kids to school. That is a mama job. You understand? Yeah, I mean, if it's a mama job, that means this mama will be taking the kids to school for 8 years.
Yeah.
Till they're in class 8, right?
Yeah.
Or whichever grade. Now tell me, this person is building a relationship with the kids. You as the man with your ego, you remain behind. You understand? Now, sometimes women are very clever and very wise. Kids, they always tend to be our building grace in the future. So, like my mama used to tell me, when she does something, she'll tell you, my late mama, she'll tell you, you see what I do for you? When you grow up, remember this.
Yes.
When you grow up, remember this.
Yeah.
So this person is building an account that will be everlasting.
True.
You understand? This person is telling you that when you grow old, do not do this to your daddy because he never did this to you when I was here. So this competition is good, but first you need to have a mutual understanding about raising your kids. Remember, they both depend on you.
Yes.
Do not segregate roles and say that you take the kids to school forever. Sometimes make a surprise. Go together. Drop the kids.
Yeah.
Come back from work. Go together. Pick them. You understand?
Yeah.
Yeah, even if it's showering. Like the baby boys. I cannot wash my baby girl, right? But I can on the baby boys. Go with them to the shower. Wash them up. Tell them this is, you know such stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do not make the woman feel like, if I don't do this, nothing would be done.
Yeah, it would be done.
If it's 8:30 in the night and they're supposed to go to bed and mama is not around, everyone is just there watching cartoon, doing everything they're doing, you understand? Yeah, you are.
In fact, it's actually quite funny. Most children know, when dad is left in charge, how much more things they can do. They're
You
just like,
understand?
this is the best day ever.
You even look at them in supermarkets. I mean, you go to a supermarket and you're with your kid and you're a daddy. They can do anything. They can cry, they can fall down, they can roll over. But when with mama, they don't even talk. Just a look like.
No, let me tell you. Shout out to my mom. We were at a supermarket a couple of years ago, and there was a little girl. She was with her dad, and she was throwing a tantrum. There's something she wanted. I think it was cookies or gum, something next to the counter. And she was crying. And then you know what? They do that thing, and they cry. Then they close their eyes, and they close their ears, and they go on the ground.
And you feel like the world is ending.
And the dad was so frustrated, and you could see that it's clearly a budget issue. He's like, I did not plan to buy this. I am not going to buy it. But he doesn't know how to deal with his daughter now that she's throwing this full-on tantrum. And he's like, okay, Sawa. And he picked the item and put it on the counter. My mom, we were behind him. My mom picked the item, and then she told him, pay and walk away. Trust me, she'll come.
Yeah.
He wasn't believing. He was hesitant. He was like, oh, really? He pays. He stood there at the end of the counter. Then he was like, okay. And he walked away. She screamed. Finally, she opened her eyes. She's like, yo, where's Dad?
Yeah, I mean, you realize
And she took
that-
off and she followed him. She saw where he was and she ran and she followed him. And that was, I guess, something he hadn't experienced before. Probably
Yeah.
hadn't been at the supermarket with her solo, where she had such a situation.
No, but really, sometimes it's just because we want to love them too much, but the wrong love.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
The wrong love. I mean, you want to pamper them and make them feel good.
Yes.
Like they can never make mistakes. They
Yes.
are super angels.
Yeah.
They're superheroes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they make mistakes too, and they need to know that when you do something wrong, you pay for it.
There's
You take
consequences.
responsibility.
Yeah. And real life is exactly like that, even
Yeah.
if these children grow up. Alan, for you, especially, I want to know, as a corporate trainer and an inspirational speaker, in your relationships, how do you usually handle that? You know, we've talked about leaving the badge behind, but if I'm an inspirational speaker, that's a hard badge to leave. It's not like the CEO badge. Maybe you have the perfect quote or antidote to solve the problem that your girl is yelling you about or wants you guys to discuss. And maybe she just wants to be heard. She doesn't want the inspirational speaker. In your own personal experience with your relationships, do you find it difficult to like separate your professional?
Yeah, it's not that hard because she understands the moment I'm in action and the moment, the moment I just want to be myself.
Yeah.
Because one thing I told my girl is I don't want her to be my fan.
Okay, I like
I
that.
want her to be my friend.
Yes.
So that we can connect at all levels. Because believe me, Shiko, you can be here on telly doing all those kind of things, but the people who are around you, they're just your fans, whereby they can hardly correct you, they
Yeah.
can hardly challenge you.
Yeah.
So the moment we sit and have these kind of conversations, we have developed a rapport.
So she's able to give you criticisms,
Yeah,
basically. She
yeah.
can be like, Bede, leo ulichoma.
Yeah, most definitely, because she will be like, yeah, the way you did. And honestly, she has really made me who I am today.
That's amazing.
Yeah, because we've been in the journey together and she understands my vision. That's why I earlier on said that, as a man, we always want a woman who will plug into my vision, a woman who understands me more. Because the moment as a woman you love this person and love their vision,
Yes.
believe me, they in turn love you.
I like that. And congratulations
Yeah,
to this
thank you.
wonderful girl you have found, wherever she may be.
Yeah.
What about past relationships? Obviously, the girl that you're with now is amazing.
Yeah, sure.
In the past, did you have any difficulty when it came to how somebody could understand your career and cope with it?
Yeah, sure, I heard. And, I thank God that my ex, she's doing amazing and I support her to some extent. Yeah. So
That means you now have fun.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought you said they are not supposed to be fun.
Yeah, but he's not dating his ex now, so he can
I'm
be
not
her fan
dating.
if he wants. It's fine.
Yeah.
I will say something.
One very interesting thing, now that the ex is there,
Yeah.
and he supports the ex, how does your current girlfriend cope with that?
Yeah.
Because
I mean, it's competition.
Yes,
yeah,
how does she
I
cope with
understand.
that?
Yeah.
At first, honestly, there were issues, a lot of issues.
Yeah.
Because, whereby in the field I'm in, I also do a bit of modeling, you understand? And she's in the modeling industry. So at no given point, I will she calls me for a gig. Believe me, we will just do it. So it reached to a point whereby I was like, listen, here our work is actually, our relationship is work oriented. So we've defined the boundaries. Whereby, and it comes with, freedom comes with a lot of responsibilities, whereby, okay, whatever we had between us is over. So life must continue. So I've defined it.
So did you sit down with your current girlfriend to
Yeah.
define those boundaries, or
Yeah,
did
sure.
you sit with your ex to define the boundaries? How does that?
I sat with my ex
Yeah.
and also with my current.
And your current
Yeah.
girlfriend, and you agree moving forward?
Our topic is competition, right?
Yes.
Things
Yes.
women do.
By the way,
Yes.
yeah, sure.
Correct?
Yeah.
And trust me, in my experience, I mean, there is no way you can ever sit down your ex and your girlfriend together on the same table
Yeah.
and tell them that, your boundary is here, your boundary is here. Girls will always be girls.
Sure,
For
sure,
whatever
sure.
means.
I understand.
And
If you have an ex and there is a professional, a career opportunity,
So you won't
and your
work?
ex is involved and you have to work with her,
You
you
won't
wouldn't
work?
take it?
that's different.
But that's what he's saying he
That's
does.
what
No, it's different from sitting them together and telling them,
No.
now this is your boundary and this is your boundary.
Not-
It can never work.
They want
Trust me.
together.
Yeah,
No,
no,
they-
I want you to be lit on fire, boy. Because look at this. No, look at this. Look at this.
Yeah.
This is a human being. She didn't just, she did not just happen. She fell in love
True.
with you.
Yeah.
And the feelings will never go. However much we call them X and X's and X's and multi-X's, feelings will never go. And I'm sorry to say this, when you join together, she will always carry part of you for the rest of her life, inside herself, for the rest of her life, in her blood, in her DNA, for the rest of her life. So, in as much as you get closer to her, trust me, you are triggering competition. And who is going to suffer? You are current.
But you see, the way you are saying, like, I have understood, like, you know, there are some things, like, ideally, if I find myself in this kind of a situation, I'll compromise.
Thank you. You said ideally, meaning that's an idea. There is what you want,
And there's what happened.
happens.
And there's what can happen.
Yeah.
Ian?
You're putting me on the spot.
Yeah, it's different.
Personally, I find it a bit interesting because with in the current modern world,
Yeah.
it is very difficult for someone you're dating to cope with the fact that you're still coming into contact or engaging in
Sure.
things with your
With your
ex.
at all,
But-
whether it's work or it's
Exactly.
friendship or
But
it's-
I'm one person who also believes that it doesn't mean that because you dated someone, you talked about whatever excess.
yeah.
It doesn't mean that because you broke up with them, you don't talk or there should be any bad blood. No, there shouldn't be. You never know what the future holds. You might be mad about everything that happened. You might, show them hatred or something. Someday, you're walking into an office, an interview, or
And they're on the panel.
she's the head of the panel.
Yeah.
What
it's
will you
true. It's true. Anything can happen.
There shouldn't be any bad blood.
I like that.
You should
Yeah,
We
just
can,
agree
we
not-
can be civil. We can be
Exactly,
civil,
civilized.
whatever the
You
relationship
can be
is.
civil, not in Kenya.
It is
Soaps and up there.
What's that song? What's that song? Nairobi.
Yeah, you tell me? You can't. I mean,
Well,
you
guys,
can't.
it's looking like I'm gonna have you three back for part 2
Sure.
because time unfortunately is up for this episode. But the competition conversation can keep going. Join us on social media, guys. Keep using the hashtag ManTalk and the hashtag KTN Life and Style to join in on the conversation. Now, I want you guys to give everybody your social media handles so they can know where to find you, and your business handles as well, where your business is, what you do, and how they can get your services. Alan, we can start with you.
Yeah, thank you so much for having us. And people can find me on social media at Alan Lawrence. That is on Facebook, on Instagram, Alan_320. Yeah, also on Twitter, the same.
First of all, thank you so much, Susie, for this opportunity.
Very welcome. Thanks for coming through, guys.
Yeah, it was a pleasure being here. And for our viewers, you can find me on Reinhard Bonke everywhere. Reinhard Bonke on Facebook, Reinhard Bonke on Twitter and on Instagram. And if you want any information about our Light Night organization, we are building up a website. Everything will be there for you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It is a pleasure being here today. Thank you so much. You can find me on Twitter at Ian Keitani, on Facebook Ian Keitani, and on Instagram I am Keitani. Just to sum up, remember, successful people look like you in the great Manchester United.
Yeah.
Of course.
I really like that. Thank you so much for coming through
Yeah,
today.
appreciate it.
And discussing all these aspects of competition. I think there's still so much more we didn't discuss, so we can touch on it maybe next time. Be sure to catch Man Talk next Wednesday, right here, same time. I've been your host, Susan Jorge. You can find me on social media at Sura_Common. That's everywhere. It's Sura Common. And we're going to see you. Have a great Wednesday, and keep it with the conversation right here on Man Talk. Bye.
Bye.